Again, everyone, Scott Plyer here, and in this video, the season finale of Percy Jackson just released last night. I watched the last episode a couple times actually, and I'm ready to finally do my full season review of the show, and this has been a great show. It really has. I loved the cast. Walker Scobell, I thought he excelled in the role. He really embodied the character from the book in so many ways, from his humor to his charm, and with what he was able to do with some even more emotional scenes. I thought he excelled in the role, and everyone else in the cast too, like everyone, and also. Rest in peace, Lance Reddick, who I thought did an amazing job as Zeus in the final episode. He did pass away not too long after the show finished filming, and it's always sad when something like that happens. And rest in peace, Lance Reddick. Was one of, I think it was his last performance before he passed away. Pretty sure, but yeah, that's it. That is a sad news, but. He did a great job as Zeus. I thought he was great. And also, from beginning to end, this is a journey about a character who is a kid, and you really see how he finds the hero within himself, and he's also trying to fit in and trying to find a way to, be himself, while at the same time not being seen as someone that people might not want to be around. This show is very heavy on themes of acceptance and people being different. I like those kinds of themes in something like this. And it's a fantasy show based, and it's based on a very popular book series, Percy Jackson. So, and I love the books. A little bit of history here. I remember reading the books in elementary school, and I was a perfect age when the first movie came out. And I enjoyed the movies, but they, as an adult now, I see how the movie is differentiated so much from the books. And seeing this more faithful adaptation just put a major smile on my face from beginning to end. It's a very enjoyable show. The humor has been on point from beginning to end. And there are so many things about this that just really hammered home how good this was, from the writing for the most part, to the acting and the music by Bear McCreary, by the way. I love Bear McCreary. He's a great composer. I love the original themes for this show from Bear McCreary. It was great. And the costume design, especially from the Camp Half-Blood and students and the campers, and the look of Camp Half-Blood and the look of Mount Olympus in the final episode, and just everything. It was all just so well done. And I think also, even the supporting characters from other actors, especially the actor that played Hermes in the Lotus Casino scene, I thought he was really funny. He was very charismatic, even though that is one of my weaker episodes, at least to me, in terms of what they did change from the book for the Lotus Casino part of the episode. There's just certain aspects of what they did change in that part of the episode that didn't quite work for me, but the humor was still on point. The actors were still really great. And in the latter two episodes, there are quite a few aspects of the last two episodes, episodes 7 and 8, that do sort of remind me of Harry Potter. I will say that there's some familiarity here that people that are fans of Harry Potter will notice watching this show. There is some familiarity, which I I was perfectly fine with, even though the three-headed dog in that last episode, it is something from Greek mythology. It's not the same thing, but with the way they portrayed that scene in the seventh episode in the underworld, it did feel familiar to Fluffy from Sorcerer's Stone, and I was all for it though. I liked it, and also in the last episode, there was one scene that I was worried was going to be cut from the episode, but then it appeared in the post credits, and it was played for humor, which is cool. There's this one character from the books or from the first book, that deserved what he got to coming to him, but I felt like he didn't really deserve it on the show, though. I think the way they portrayed his character, they just played him more for humor than anything else on the show. It was Percy's stepfather, Gabe, and the way they handled that particular scene in the final episode. Well, it was, like I said, it was in the post-credits scene, but it was played for laughs, and I didn't think this version of Gabe deserved it, but alas, it still happened. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But also, the final episode also showed how we got to see Mount Olympus, right? And it looks really cool. It looks like a really ancient, like, mansion, like, city in the sky, above the Empire State Building, which is funny. But yeah, I really liked the look of Mount Olympus. It was really interesting and pretty to look at in the shots that we got to see before Percy made his way to Zeus. And, the underworld, Hades' palace was designed to look like Mount Olympus, but upside down, which was also really cool. Like I said, the set design was phenomenal on this show, and everything that was depicted in the book was very properly depicted here in the show, and I loved it. And also in that last episode, of course, was the twist of Luke being the true lightning thief, and the way they depicted it in the book was different compared to how they handled it on the show, but with how they handled it on the show, I thought was really well done too. Like, the music in that scene was great, and the tension rising between Luke and Percy, I thought was really well done. And I thought the actor that played Luke did an amazing job. And I also really liked how Percy, the actor playing Percy, he really does feel like that character who is like the smartest guy in the room, who's also really stubborn, and sizes characters up, which I thought was great in the last episode, which really showed how much Percy grew throughout the season, from his experiences journeying with Annabeth and Grover, and just everything leading up to the finale, with that huge fight with Ares, which I thought was also really well done. Like that beginning action scene between Percy and Ares, I thought was really well done, and also really just felt like it came up right off the page from the book, which also just hammered home how well everyone in the cast and crew just really cared about the source material, and that's important when making a show like this. Everyone involved, from the cast and the crew, everyone was a fan of the books, and that's important when making something like this. It really is. And some of the themes of finding the hero within yourself, and accepting who you are, and this coming of age story that you really latch onto with all these characters that you can relate to. It was really well done, and I loved it. It was great. It was a great show, and I definitely do think that this show will get a second season, no doubt. There hasn't been an announcement yet, but I do think that this show will get renewed for a season 2, which I'm sure will adapt Sea of Monsters, the second book, and further seasons adapting the other books, Titan's Curse and Last Labyrinth, those books as well for those particular seasons. So yes, this has been great and I loved it. If I had to give this show a grade, I would probably give it, definitely I'd give it an A. Like I said, I don't have too many flaws other than the fact that, you know, just a couple changes, like I said, in the Lotus Casino episode, with some of the writing there didn't quite work for me. And also earlier episodes, there were sometimes action scenes that cut to black. So some weird editing choices near the beginning of the season, during action scenes, that also wasn't a bit strange. But other than that, it was a phenomenal season and a great season of television, and I'm really happy with it, and I can't wait to see more from this show as it continues. So that should do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.